I first met Modi ji about 30 years ago when he was the chief minister. I was 25, so very young then. A little nervous before meeting him, but also very excited because I'd heard so much about him. I'd gone to him in the context of our copper smelter, which we had set up in Dahej in Gujarat. Some matter linked to that. And in the first 10 minutes, I realized that he probably knew more about the project than I did myself. He was involved during the process of setting up the project from a government perspective. I was very taken aback. He understood the issue within a minute. He spoke to the people concerned. He told me that the issue would be taken care of. I then asked him, "So how do you allocate your time to all the things you're doing?" And he spent about 45 minutes with me, 45 minutes to an hour, as against 15 minutes, which was my allotted time, and took me in depth through so many of the projects that he was undertaking. I came out feeling really quite astonished. I hadn't met anyone in public life who had that kind of width and depth of vision. So I felt very inspired. And, clearly, here was a man of great substance. He remembers so much. In one of my meetings a couple of years ago, we were talking about leadership. I spoke to him about his style of leadership, and that's how the issue of leadership got, we started discussing that. And he gave me the name of a book. I don't remember the name offhand. And he said, "You must read this book on leadership, and it will give you truly new insights." I'm just surprised that despite being the busy man that he is, he even has the time to read books. That was a learning in itself for me. Vibrant Gujarat, I remember there was one year where I had reached the day before, and something came up in Bombay for which I needed to come back. So I went to tell him that I have to go back and therefore won't be there for the actual event, and to apologize. But he held my hand, he looked into my eye and said, "It's very important for me and for the state ki aap वापस आएं." And he's someone who's so charismatic, so kind of, he makes you feel so much at home and so much a part of him. He always wants to know how the economy is, what should be done to get the private sector to invest more, for example. He's also a very keen listener. So if he asks you a question, he will very patiently listen to what you have to say, absorb it. You also need to be well prepared before you meet him, because if you get the wrong fact, then he will immediately catch on to it. It's more about questions and him understanding. That's his kind of humility. I think his questions are very probing, very relevant. And I sometimes have the feeling that he already knows the answer but is looking for validation from me as a senior member of industry. He believes in speed. Even as CM, he operated in the same way. He didn't believe in there being red tape, unnecessary delays. And I've seen very often that if he's convinced of what you have to say, things move very fast. He just needs to be convinced that what you're saying is in the interest of the country or the economy, or as the case might be. And he is able to process that very quickly, understand that very quickly, despite the fact that he has his mind on thousands of things related to the country. And I don't know how it happens. It probably passes on a message, or I don't know how that works, but it really does create an impact. He has many traits, his vision, his ability to execute large projects at the same time. One thing that really strikes me is his memory. He has an elephant's memory. He can recall a conversation he had with you, which you may have forgotten of. Very often when I go to meet him, not now, but a few years ago, my daughter is in the microfinance business. She started her own company. he would ask me, "Beti ka microfinance ka kaise chal raha hai?" My son was playing professional cricket at that time. आपके बेटे का क्रिकेट का क्या हो रहा है? Uh, I mean, it's a personal touch, of course, that makes you sort of warm up. But it's just the fact that he remembers. Uh, I don't think that if I refer to a discussion I've had with him in the past on an issue, just to give context, he will actually remember it, and he will say that, yes, you had said this, and this was what I had responded with. It just seems like even if you meet him after 6 months, it's almost seamless. It's almost an extension of your last meeting. All of his ideas are appropriate, relevant. They are in the national interest. His ideas are related to so many different aspects of the nation's working. That one person can think of so many things at the same time, which are as varied as they can be, because that's how our country is, and apply his mind, come up with an idea that's appropriate. It's not just ideas that are appropriate, it's also the right areas that he focuses on. It's also the ideas that make the maximum impact. Just his way of signaling to the country or to the concerned people that this issue, for example, is something that we need to focus on as a country. The approach to that is so creative and so innovative. It's fresh, it strikes you immediately, it hits home the point that he wants to make, and just the idea that he has on cutting down red tape. He'll often say that, no, don't do this, don't do that. You'll come away with a lot of clarity after meeting him. His body language, his expression, the way he conveys a point, I mean, it's a masterclass in oration. He's done so many things, and all of them have been appropriate and in the interest of the economy. Difficult to go into all of them, but just suffice to say that today India shines out in the world as the economy that's growing fast, that is a healthy economy, that has its fundamentals in place, very strong. So the sum and substance of it is that we are the world's fastest growing large economy, and we are looking ahead at decades of double-digit growth. So I think that just is the result of everything he's done in the last 11, 12 years. So to me, and I say this without exaggeration, Modi ji is a Yugpurush. You rarely have people like this born, so to speak. I would like to pay my respects to him on his 75th birthday. He is one of those people who have made the largest impact in the history of our nation in terms of the growth and development of our nation. And I would wish him a very happy birthday and also seek his blessings.